Yo, what's going on, people? I want to do an art video today. And in the wake of remakes, when it comes to Marvel, Disney, video games, all that other type of stuff, I want to do a remake of my own. But for this, I want to do an art remake because for me, I think that me going back and actually tackling a picture that I did a while ago that I always had a problem with, but at the time I thought was the shit, but it's not. It sucks. It sucks to me now because I did this picture back in 2018. This side. The fuck? This camera. Somewhere over here. What the fuck? Yeah, so I did this picture back in 2018. I always wanted to do a remake of this version to see exactly how I would do it now with the skill set that I have in 2023. That's almost, what, 4 years ago? 4 or 5 years ago? This is going to be a good test, and I'm going to implore artists to do this yourselves, to show yourself how much you've improved since that time. I think it's going to be a good staple, and it's going to be a good pivotal point for you to actually realize that you back in 2017, because I get messages all the time about people thinking that they're not improving. You have no idea how much you're improving until you actually do something like this when it's a remake of something that you drew back then and use the skills that you have now to remake it. So I'm gonna basically show you guys how to do this and probably could get you guys a little more comfortable in understanding that you are improving. You just got to keep on going at it. You just got to keep drawing, being consistent and stuff like that. So that's basically what this video is. I want to show you guys how to do this. So yeah, I picked this picture in particular because I like it. I liked it back then. I thought, like I said, I thought it was the shit. So we're going to try to make it even more the shit in 2023. Let's give it a fresh coat of paint, just like Resident Evil did. Let's go. All right, guys, well, here we are. I hope you like this setup. I want to try this more when I start doing these remakes or art tutorials. I kind of like this to where like I can actually point out everything and you can see what's going on in real time. So in order to make a remake of something that we done before, we have to figure out first what the fuck is wrong with it to begin with. There's a couple things that I noticed because I go back and look at my old shit every now and then to make sure that, you know, I'm improving on certain aspects and stuff. And the one thing that I had an issue with back in the day was, let me just show you. It was making the heads on people fucking huge. So I had a problem with that. If you go back and you check out all my stuff, I sort of have this pattern to where I make the heads huge and the body's extremely small. It's not because she's petite, it's just because I just didn't know how to do proportions well. The first thing, what I'm going to tackle is the pose is not really fitting what I was trying to do. The arms are big. The forearms are huge as hell. You got the hands being big as shit and the head is huge with the body small. And the waistline does not end right here at all. So we're gonna fix a lot of different shit. So first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna show y'all exactly what I'm gonna change. And in order for me to do this, I'm gonna lower down the opacity and I'm gonna just go over it so you guys can see what parts I'm gonna fix and which parts are gonna actually be, you know, left. Because there's a couple things I did right. I gotta give myself some credit at least. So let's go up in here. Yeah, like for some of the tedious stuff, once I get the frame and everything down packed, I might fast forward a couple times. You guys will see. For right now, I'm not gonna fast forward it. I'm gonna just let you guys see the whole process of what I'm gonna do. Oh yeah, and another thing too, what I noticed, her neck is extremely huge. Her neck is big as fuck. Jesus Christ, that's like a tree trunk. That's crazy compared to the rest of the body. It's insane. Holy shit. Me looking at this man again is crazy, but not only is the proportions off, the colors that I use for these pictures is a little bit off too for me. The white is too illuminating when it comes to the stripes. I try to have this whole Adidas look and there's no detail in the pants or the line work in the shirt is just fucking horrible. Yeah, so we're gonna fix all this. All right, so let's fix this shit up and let's bring it into the 21st century. Let's go. So we lower the opacity and we're gonna go over this and make the head smaller. And we're gonna bring the eyes down a little bit too. The eyes are a little bit too high up. So we're gonna bring that down. Jesus Christ, make that neck smaller. What the fuck? Okay, so for right now, I think the head is good. We're gonna go out and actually build the frame and actually make the frame and the body look more natural because it just doesn't look natural at all. So let's go. I'm just clowning myself right now, but it is what it is. Okay, we're gonna worry about the little details later, but for right now, I'm just bringing in, you know, and doing the frame and try to make sure that everything fits first before I do anything. So Okay, now we got the arms mapped out. Don't this look a little bit better already? Compared to this? Yeah. Compared to that, the proportions are already fitting. Okay, so let me quit calling myself. Let me let me finish this. Let's go. And for the torso, this is the main thing that I made a mistake on right here. I did not know how to do torsos at all. I didn't know where they started, and I didn't know where they ended. So I came up with a strategy and a plan to do this. Stop the torso right there underneath. It stops right there. Bring it down right there, and that's where it stops completely. Now this is the reason why it looks completely off. I didn't know where the hips were going to land at all. Now I do. I'm going to do the stomach right there. As a matter of fact, and it stops right there. So bring that up. I had it too far down. Alrighty, I'll say we're about looking good right now for the frame. So now we're gonna go in and do the little eye details and stuff like that and add on features. We're gonna do this extremely quick too. So watch this. And I'm gonna add a layer above it to do everything non-destructively. Remember, if you guys watched me before, like, you guys know how I work. I work non-destructively to where I don't want to fuck up anything. So, and since we lowered the eyes before, we're gonna put them right where they're supposed to be, right here. All right, so let me see. That's one. Time for number two. Your guy's worst nightmare. And this shows you that when time passes by and you just gain knowledge, all this shit becomes muscle memory to me. Because the reason why I'm showing me doing it on top of the image that I already did is because I kind of want it to be a tutorial too. Because if I was to remake a picture, I'll just draw it from scratch, just up on the top of my head. But I want to show you guys a blueprint on how I'm going about it. That way you guys can keep up and keep along. You know what I'm saying? Like, can actually come along with me to see exactly where I'm tackling, which areas I'm going after, and how I'm going to update it to make it fit. That's the only reason why I got this image underneath the show. From this to that, it already looks better. Already, the face already looks better. So now we're going to keep on going. We're going to add some hair, and we're going to put the cap on top too though. So let's go. Yeah, but we already had to deviate from the hairstyle route. So in order to make it functional, because I didn't like how this was looking at first. I didn't. It was too chaotic. It was just weird. It was just going everywhere. So this gives us more control over the hair. Bam. Yeah, that's even more control. And it's simplistic too. It don't have to be just strands everywhere. It does its job. That's the one thing that I didn't realize when I was doing this back in the day. I thought that more detail meant the picture was going to be better. No. Less detail to where it's clear to the eye is actually better than just doing individual shit for no reason. Especially it didn't fit my style too, so that's important. Alrighty, so now what we're gonna start adding some clothes on, because that's the one part that actually I think I did horrible on this too. As I go back and I actually look at it and I try to see exactly what I did wrong, the flow of the clothes is just not right. It's completely fucked up in here especially. This is wrong. I'm gonna show you why it's wrong too. And my lines are a little bit too thick, especially when you're doing white shirts and stuff like that. You kind of want it to be a little bit lighter to symbolize that it's a white shirt. This just look like it's just hard edge lines and shit. It just doesn't look good to me, especially now with my style. I like my shit a little bit more lighter. So I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna do that. right, Jesus Christ, I'm gonna skip through all that bullshit. But yeah, this is basically what I wanted the pose to look like before. So that pose before just wasn't working for me. I don't know why. It just wasn't working. So I decided to change it up a little bit and extend it out a little bit too. And this is what we ended up with. This is gonna be a little messy style too, because it's gotta be quick. I'm gonna be putting color on here extremely fast, doing light detail work, shading and stuff like that. This is gonna be like a sketch color picture, if that makes any sense. All right, let's go. Now we're gonna move on to the color part. This is gonna be extremely quick, y'all. Watch this. That's the hair down. So now I'm gonna change it up to I'm gonna make it a little bit browner. Alpha lock that, drag and drop, bam. And now we're gonna move on to, I'm gonna do the eyes and everything first. So I'm gonna do that completely separate. I'm gonna do that on a black layer. All right, let's move on to the other colors, which is going to be the white and the hat. So let's do the hat. Lock that in. And we're actually going to use the same layer to do the pants too. I think that'll just make sense. Black on black. Why not? Bam. Now we're going to have the shirt. And what I'm going to do for the shirt, of course, because it's white, I have to make the background a little bit darker. That way I will be able to see what I'm doing. So I'm going over that. Bringing that down underneath. And we're just going to go white. That's it. Drag and drop. Fill that in. And now we move on to the skin. You see how quick this is going? I'm have a little bit tan. There we go. All right, now we all set to move on. I don't know why. I'm not sure how the color looks on the computer screen, but all I know is how my RGB settings are on here. It looks tan, trust me. It doesn't look like how this bullshit looks on the screen. I know how to fix that to make it identical, but for right now, we're working with this. So, all right. So now we're gonna get rid of all these stupid ass lines. Bring that down a little bit more. Lower the opacity, and do the same thing with the hat. And we're just going to go in and just start doing detail. But very simple, light detail. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be too much. And then over that, we're just going to add some simple shadows. A little bit of that. Okay, I'll say that's about good for the skin for right now. I'm gonna try to lighten it up a little bit, and then I'm gonna darken into some areas. Alright, add the eyeshadows. Now if you guys pay attention how quick I'm doing this, this picture back in the day took me about a day and a half to do. This picture is probably going to take me maybe 40 minutes to an hour to do, which is crazy. So that shows you how much me personally I improved over time, or my perception of what I was doing over time, to be able to do this in a very simplistic way. So that's what I'm saying to you guys. You guys need to start doing remakes or going back into your old catalogs, especially artists and beginning artists who be thinking that they're not improving. Go back, look at what you did before, and then try to redo it to see what you would do differently. I've never done this before though, so this is blowing my mind how fast I'm doing this. Okay, so now, before I even do all the intricate details, we're gonna just add shadows just everywhere. So I'm gonna do that to the hair next. I'm gonna lower the opacity for that because I don't really need all that shit in there. And I'll make the hair browner. For some reason it looks red on this screen. I don't know why. It's a little odd. Okay, I would say we about done with the hair for right now, but as you can see, the hair looks way better. It looks extremely better. You can actually tell what's going on. With this other hair over here, you just cannot tell. It's just a bunch of random bullshit going on. And that's how my mind... It's amazing seeing how your thought process thought back in the day compared to how it thinks now. I simplified it a lot more than I did back then. This took me way longer to do than this over here, and it looks better. How does that happen? It's all about having the knowledge. That's all it is. So this is crazy to me. So yeah, we're gonna finish off the hair. I'm gonna put the highlights in there, and then we're gonna move on to the next parts, which is gonna be extremely quick. It's so crazy because you guys can't even see that little thing I just did. I did shadows and everything, but you guys can't see it on the screen. But you are going to be able to see this, so watch this. Yeah, you guys can't see nothing on this white shirt at all with these RGB settings. It's crazy. It's like you literally can't see anything. It's just super white. But I'm not gonna worry about that because it's not about the RGB settings. It's about doing it right in general. That way when I show you guys for real, you will actually be able to see the detail. But for right now, I'm not worried about it. And there's a couple other things I want to do too. I want to add a little bit more line depth into the skin, and then after that, we basically done. I did this in like maybe an hour and 30 minutes. When back in the day, this took me maybe 2 days to do this shit. Jesus Christ. Alrighty, so as you can see, we are pretty much finished. We are basically done. And already I did something extremely simple. I didn't even do a difficult style. I did it very, very quick. This style, just in its basic form, looks better than this. Let me do a side by side just to show y'all. This as a side-by-side just looks better already, as you can tell. We're basically done with this. I kind of want to do this a lot more, but these literally tell you exactly how far you've come as a digital artist yourself. So I implore you guys to do the same thing. I might be doing this next week too as well. I might do this every single week to where I just sit down for an hour and 30 minutes, just go back and see exactly what I did from start to finish, to see exactly what I changed specifically, and that's going to help me out later on to where I draw new pictures to where I can tackle it and fix it completely from there. We actually changed the pose and everything too, but everything is in proportion. It looks better. So yeah, that's about what I'm going to do for right now. If you guys like this video, you guys want to see more of this type of stuff, let me know in the comments. And yeah, I'm basically going to be out of here. This video is long enough. So peace out.